Okay, so I received the Hasbro Kessel Run Millennium Falcon today, and before I opened it, I thought I'd go on YouTube and see if I could find any reviews on it, and unfortunately there were no reviews. So just like 2 years ago with the Force Awakens Millennium Falcon, I thought I'd do a quick review of it since apparently I'm the only one that kind of has it and wants to do a review on it. So I'm not going to go too much in depth with this. Just a really quick unboxing and just to show you what's inside the box. So let's get this started. All right. So I already cut the box open. Let's take it out right here. We have the instructions, the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon Raid de Kessel. And here's the instruction manual. Looks like we have some stickers as well. I hate putting on stickers. I can never get them on straight. Real quick rundown of the instructions. We have sticker placements here and here. We have the assembly. It looks like we have the exploding panels being detailed. The little escape craft. We have the Han Solo figure with which I believe is the coaxium container he comes with. I think that might be a story plot element, not sure yet. We have some guns in front of the ship, and it's also Force Link compatible. Some additional details, battery stuff. Alright, let's take a look at the toy real fast. Put this down. Okay, here we have the new Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. First impressions. It looks it's very small. If you're expecting something as I actually have the Force Awakens Millennium Falcon right next to me, and I'll do a size comparison, but yeah, first impressions, this is a very small iteration of the Falcon. It's actually pretty decent weight. I mean, it feels very solid, I don't know, its structure is very sound, but the size is very disappointing. If I was to compare it to anything, it kind of reminds me of the older model kits from the 80s of the Millennium Falcon. It's roughly around that size. So let me get the Force Awakens one real quick. Now the funny thing is, a lot of people complained about the Force Awakens Falcon from 2 years ago, but I mean, I was actually a fan of it. I enjoyed it a lot. I even made a modded version of it with I don't know. I'll go into that next time. But here's the Falcon from, what was it, 2015, the Force Awakens one. And, people hated on it. They said it was too small. And, of course it wasn't as good as the BMF from, the early 2000s, but that's not bad. Now here's the newer Falcon for the Han Solo movie. And if I do an overhead shot of it, and there's the effects. Yeah, it's like a slot machine. But as you can tell, there's the size comparison. It's a lot smaller than the Force Awakens one. So chances are, if you're disappointed in this one, you can be really disappointed in the new one. But at the same time, looking back at the one from 2 years ago, it's actually not that bad now next to this one. But I gotta admit, I like the charm of this one. Despite the size, I think it looks pretty cool. Let's take a look at the features real quick. Okay, so it looks like we have a cargo hold here, another cargo hold there. Now with the panelings exposed, we kind of have, the Falcon from what this is what the Falcon looks like, but we know of it. And, with the new Solo movie, it's covered in this smoother plating. And then we kind of have the same up here. And this apparently will not shut off. There's the off button. Alright, I'm not sure where the off button is. Let's take a look at the cockpit real quick. The cockpit is... yeah, so that cockpit's pretty small. You're looking at a single seater there. I believe the Force Awakens one was... yeah, the Force Awakens one was a double seater. So... and let's take a look at the accessories. It comes with... you got a Han Solo here. It looks like we have the radar dish. The cannon for the top. The coaxium container. And in this baggie here we have the escape pod. And we have the panels here. Let's see if I can get this open real quick. Yeah, so right now, my first impressions are, you know, it's really small. I'm not sure what the manufacturer's suggested retail price is. I got this off of eBay. I know I probably paid a little bit too much for it, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Falcon, so any chance I got to get it a little bit early just to play with it, you know, I was kind of excited about it. Okay, so let's take a look at these panels and see how it looks with them. Where's the instructions? Okay, so this panel here, I believe, goes here. This panel here goes here. This panel goes up here. This panel goes here. And for they kind of don't... I'm not sure why they're not locking in place. I'm probably doing something wrong. Yeah, but if you look carefully, they're kind of like spring-loaded, so they're supposed to explode or something. But I'm not sure how to actually latch them in. I have to read the instructions, but you get the point right there. And towards the front, where the forks are, you have these panels here, and they lock in. Like I said, this isn't going to be a thorough review. I just wanted to do a quick unboxing and overview, just to give you some quick impressions. You know, yeah, I'm guessing within the first 2 minutes after you see the Falcon next to the old one, you know, you probably would have made up your mind whether or not you want it. Yeah, so with the exception of the radar dish and the cannon, this is what the Falcon looks like with all of its paneling. And over here is the 2015 Force Awakens Falcon. Like I said, if you weren't a fan of this one, you're really going to hate this one. Let me see if I can get the cargo hold out. Because the cargo hold, you know, it's going to give you that more... Here we go. It's going to give you the shape you're seeing in the trailers and all the marketing of what the Falcon looks like. So, I believe this slides in like this. Am I doing this right? There we go. Yeah, so the Falcon, the new Falcon kind of has, with the escape pod, you know, kind of has that triangle shape, kind of like a Star Destroyer. Versus, you know, you have this empty gap here. But from my understanding, I think one of the original designs from the original Falcon called for this to serve as some sort of, you know, cargo bay. So having this kind of makes sense. So here's the overhead view again. This adds a little bit more length to it. If you look at the profile, this is a lot thicker than this. And, you know, this is a lot more slimmer, a lot more streamlined. It's like I said, you know, detail-wise, you know, the details are great. You know, you have nice molded details. The sculpting's really well done. You know, especially in the exposed areas. You know, that looks exactly like what it should look like. The plastic's a little soft too. Like, this is that kind of soft plastic that was on, you know, a lot of the Force Awakens stuff. And I remember, like, the X-Wings would warp and stuff because the plastic was kind of that softer material. You know, they didn't spare any expense in terms of the sculpting underneath. You know, granted, you're not going to have the landing gears and the ramp like a lot of people would like, but it's nice. I think depending on the price you pay for this, like if you're a Falcon fan, you're going to buy this regardless, I'm guessing. But if you're not too sure about it, you know, I wouldn't pull the trigger on it. You know, when all is said and done, it's a kid's toy. It's not necessarily like a high-end collectible, but if you're a fan of the Falcon, go for it. You know, otherwise, it's like I said, if you're disappointed in the 2015 one, you're gonna hate this. If you're a fan of the Falcon, you know, it's like I said, my favorite Falcon is probably the big Millennium Falcon from, I believe it was the Legacy or Vintage Collection. That's always a nice one, and even the original Kenner Falcon's great. But this one, I don't know. I mean, if you watch the movie and if you fall in love with the Falcon after you see the new Solo movie, then by all means get it. If, you know, you're kind of on the fence about it, you know, just wait for a better review than mine. It's like I said, I didn't want to go into too much detail over this. I just wanted to do a quick overview. So, this is the Falcon. That's Force Awakens. Here's the Kessel Run Solo one. Well, it's like I said, you know, this isn't the greatest video, but I just wanted to share this with you real quick. So if, you know, you saw this on Force Friday and weren't sure if you wanted to get it, at least you'll have an idea of, you know, where it stands. So, alright, signing out. Talk to you guys later.